Hello, guys. It's been so long that we haven't talked, but today is a pleasure for me to come back with the book that we were talking about, uh, From Suicide to Success. To continue with the next chapter, we have seen two chapter before, and now we are going to continue with the third one, that is suicidal crisis, the third chapter. So you remember last time we talked about depression, we talked about apostasy, and today we have suicidal crisis. When we talk about suicide, you can understand that suicide is when someone kill himself, right? When someone remove his own life. So this is what we call suicide. If we go for a definition about suicide, that's what's gonna be. So in when I write this, I see that suicide is a process. The when the person gets to the point to remove his own life or to cut the thread of his life, okay, this is the last step. But there is a process. Okay, from then the person start to think about suicide. The person start to uh, put that in mind, right? To or to do stuff that can harm his or her life, okay, or his health too. So when we take by, for example, someone who was taking drugs, all right. If I take the example of a rapper that rapper was dead, DMX, that I love so much, and when I was teenager, but I'm still young, right? When I was a teenager, I love to watch DMX, to listen to his music, but I still love him, right? He has good messages in his music. I love that. And if you see these are overdoses, they say, and we don't know that the rapper died, but that was a process. It's not the day he died. He said, okay, that was like a, even though the person didn't kill himself in the hospital or something like that, but it was a process. When you're taking drugs, you know that drugs not good for your body, for your health. You're taking it anyway. It's a process. You start to kill yourself from then you start to do stuff that can harm your own life or your own body, your own health. So when they, and I say that when, for example, for suicide, we can have like a negligence. For some negligence, if you bring negligence to your body, okay, you would be repugnant to people, right? But this is a crime. It's a process, and we have negligence to your mind too. For example, if you don't want to study, you don't want to learn about stuff, people will dominate you. It's a crime. It's a crime. Ignorance is a crime. All right. And there is another one that is your soul. We know that we grow in three different aspects. It's body, soul, and mind. Okay, like we can say in spirit. So when you don't feed your body, you don't feed your mind, you don't feed your soul, you die. It's a process. All right. That's why in the first book that I wrote, I talked about the five sense to have success. Okay, so to continue about that, we said it's a process. Okay, it's a process. We don't just decide, okay, I'm gonna kill myself right now. No, you start to have it in your mind. We don't know when that started, but you have it in your mind. So that's when we got to the part when you take that decision, when you decide to do that. This is the societal crisis. It's a crisis at the time. So okay, we decided, but from we don't know when. It was a process. It was a process to get to the point to remove your own life. Right? Okay. So when we say a process of that, if we take example of someone who who is telling, so for example, we're cursing other people. You can feel bad when someone curses at you. but you can have that in your mind, so till you die. This is something that you let people do to you, right? And that can harm you. In the case of depression, depression is the worst is the worst illness ever. Yeah, it's like a doorway. It's a doorway to other sickness, other illnesses, right? It's a doorway. But when you have that in mind, you try to cook those thought, the bad thought in your mind, so that will lead you to suicide. All right, that will lead you to suicide. And when you get to the point you remove it, we say it is suicidal crisis. Okay, so I will invite you to read the book. To get it, you can have a copy from Amazon, and where you can read more about a suicidal crisis. We have more chapter about that. We have in the book, we have other books too that we can bring to you, but don't miss them. Don't miss them. If you're following me, don't miss the book that I wrote for you, and they are on Instagram. You can find in French and Spanish and English, whatever. If you speak those languages, you can find both for you. Okay, don't forget, we are talking about from suicide to success, right? Where I am from and where I am today. Okay, so thank you for your patience, thank you for your time, and may you have an excellent day, right? Thank you so much. One love.